So yeah, I will put the recording. Are we recording? So what's up, everybody? It's Kevin Martin here, and I have the pleasure to be here with Emily Jackman. She's a channeler, ascension guide, and she's helping many people along the journey of awakening. Hello, Emily. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what we're all doing, really. We're all here to awaken. But when you know and confirm that and declare that to yourself, life just flows on through.
Yeah. What's amazing about your presence of social media is that you really use your social media channel as a channel from which you share all of these wonderful informations. And yeah, I really believe that you are in connection with something that people need. So it's wonderful to be here sharing this space.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I do really try on that page. It's like, I really just want to tell people the answers. You know, your quantum vibration, your thoughts create your reality. You're basically in the dimension of unconditional love, and you've been learning through separation and fear, and everything's absolutely exactly as it should be. I'm not trying to keep it a secret. It's just that tell people the answer. If they don't get it, then fine. Then we take the journey together. It's beautiful. But then when you come to that realization, you're like, oh, I was always that. And then you realize it's just a fun journey. So there's the answer.
Yeah. And also, many of these things, I'm sure that people kind of heard them, but there is a certain energy, vibration with which you convey this information that is unique. So yeah, you have your unique way of sharing that message, and it's really impactful and can really help people in many ways. So your Instagram is Ascend with Emily. So now I have the question, what is ascension? What is this process that we're going through? What this has to do?
I love that. It's so funny because you meet a lot of people in spiritual community and I'm like, how's your ascension going? And they're like, it's going really well, but what is it? Which is always just beautiful. So ascension could be looked at on the easiest way to look at it is everything is made of subatomic particles, which if we look at an atom, it's like it's energy in space. But that atom that makes up everything, like the nucleus is, say, the size of a peanut in the size of a football stadium. That's actually how small and big it is. So all of the world, all the universe is energy in space, but that inner nucleus is light. It's energy, it's light. So everything is made of light, yeah? So then when we look at the world and we say, okay, if everything's made of light, we're actually going through the understanding that that light is consciousness. They mean exactly the same thing. So when we're saying we're going to access our consciousness, ascension means we're going to access a higher form of our consciousness, a higher space, a lighter frequency. Now these lighter frequencies can be seen in low vibes when you know you've been around that really like miserable person and you feel down, or you know when you're talking about yourself and you're saying I'm scared, I'm worried, I don't love myself, you feel down. But that's because consciousness is actually vibrating and having a frequency. So in terms of ascension, we can say that as humanity consciously evolves, we are harnessing choice. We're harnessing that we say, hold on, I've got a choice of how I feel, think, act, and behave. So therefore, that is going to be changing these atoms. That's going to actually awaken, stir, vibrate them at a different frequency. So we step into this realm where instead of going along with, I'm Jodie and I've been raised this way and this is who I am, instead you come into this now moment, realize, hold on, I'm made of atoms. What's Jodie anyway? A bunch of atoms, fantastic. What are those atoms? Light. Oh, I'm a light being. What are those light frequencies? Oh, consciousness. Oh, and who's in charge of them? You. So you really dissolve the ego by coming into that now moment and saying, well, I am a bunch of atoms and I do have choice in this one moment to change something. And therefore you start walking this path of accessing higher consciousness through your own choice. Your own choice. And you say, okay, in this very moment, I want to say I love myself. In this very moment, I don't want to attach to all that old stuff of Jodie, this, that, and the other. And I'm going to come into this one moment. When you come into that one moment, you realize that there's a lot of other energies going along and trying to help you do that. E.g., everything, e.g., the air. But in terms of a physical ascension, just to help souls as well, we are in, this usually blows people's minds, but they just have to enjoy it, really. So that's the kind of individual aspect. But the larger scale, the macrocosm of that microcosm of you saying, I have a choice of how I feel, is that our sun is actually the 8th sun in a huge galactic spiral. Yay! So when we're looking at it from the perspective of Earth in like a scientific thing, going, oh, I'm a scientist because I said so. When you're a meditator, you're like, do you know what? Let me just like feel the energies, because I'm energy and I'm light and I'm consciousness, meaning I have a choice of what I want to feel. So maybe I'll just like zoom up into outer space and see what's there. Well, high dimensional channelers, high dimensional ascension people, meditators have realized that we're actually in this huge spiral, and our sun is the 8th sun of it. We have a huge, the great sun, which is Alcyone, which is shining down light in the center. And we call this central light the photoband. Now, for the past 2,160 years, it's been the age of Pisces. Follow the leader. Make sure you're in a tribe. Otherwise, it's scary. Huddle around the fire. Don't be an individual. You'll get chastised from the tribe. But really what this age was, as in, you know, the past 2,000 years of history has been, if you speak the truth, you're out. Yeah. So this age of Pisces was that our solar system was on the outside of this photoband of light, the age of darkness. And now we've spun inside this photoband of light, meaning we've got more light, meaning we've got more consciousness, meaning we're expanding. But what this really means is that on this great spiral, where we were was called third density, 3D, fear, separation, and where we've spun up to is 4D, and we're moving into 5D, the 5th dimension, where the amount of light that's there is the frequency of unconditional love. And instead of learning through fear, we've done that. I don't need a leader to tell me I'm light. I know it now. I don't need anyone to tell me anything, do I? I have a choice in the moment of now to say whatever I want. So what do I need a teacher for? What do I need anything for? I can just literally be in my energy and go, wow, 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 what's there? So this 5D where we're moving into is the vibration of unity consciousness, where everyone realizes we're all one. And then we start literally creating reality from that basis of saying, your energy, wow, I wonder what energy can do. That's ascension.
Wonderful. Yeah, and it's beautiful that we are all in this exploration of these different densities and exploring these different concentration of light. So how much love can we accept? Do we feel comfortable accepting this amount of light, love, energy, or we feel like it's too much for us? Because literally, at our natural state, we can accept it all. We already are all of this, but we have these self-imposed limitations, so we don't feel worthy of this amount of love. And as we remove the blockages, this ascension is natural. We start to raise more and more and explore different aspects of who we are, because we are all this one infinite creator. It's wonderful how you explained the fact that now we are shifting and we are owning more and more of our true power, and we are exploring more of our ability to manifest. And I know that this ascension is not only an individual journey, but there is also a collective process that is happening. And I know that in your channels, in your social media channels, you talk a lot about New Earth. So what is this New Earth, and what is the connection with New Earth and the Ascension?
Mm. So if everyone got into that mind state of going, okay, I'm a light being, I'm atoms, I don't get offended by things, it's my free will choice to focus on whatever I wanted to in that moment, it's my free will choice to merge with different energies rather than, oh, I have to hang out with that guy that I really don't like. You're like, no, it's bad energy, I'm just going to move away. When everyone is moving into this frequency, but this mind state, that's going to bring on a new civilization. Yeah, it's going to bring on a totally new species of human that actually is so in the now that there's no oh well, I better do that because 6 months down the line. You're so in the now. So this new earth that people that are resonating at these higher frequencies are creating is a planet that is literally based on unconditional love, free will, and unity. Completely changes the whole landscape of 3D old Earth, but really in a deeper sense, this isn't to get too technical, but Earth is ascending. So Earth, Gaia, is a being, and she is having this process. We are lucky to align with it, but we're also the guardians of her. So on this new Earth, we get to experience this, but we also are an equal part of it to make it happen. Because if I just sat here and didn't share and didn't want other people to awaken, what am I going to do on New Earth? Sit there on my own and not be able to share unconditional love with beings, with my species, with humanity. So New Earth is about the co-creation of what that means for humans' imagination to work from a space of total love. What that would actually feel like is the inspiration and the motivation, because you can feel it for yourself. But then when you unite with others who want to say, I want to let go of the past, I want something new that's abundant for everyone, you can kind of sink into, if there's any resistance of that, it's just ludicrous, isn't it? It's ludicrous. So New Earth is an actual thing that's happening within Gaia, within the whole galaxy. And our incarnations have been lucky enough to come here to actually make it happen, but also we get to enjoy it because it's happening whether we like it or not. If I didn't sit here and embrace frequencies, well, who's missing out? You know, someone else is going to be creating New Earth where there's like infinite amount of possibilities because you're harnessing frequencies. So that, in not a technical sense, because some people could be like, okay, what about the crystal grid that's actually programmed with New Earth? But in terms of someone trying to aspire to want to look into and be on New Earth, it's to really envisage everything that was wrong, painful, or fear-based in this society completely gone, because we unite from that moment of now as equal parts of it, leading through the heart, through the vibration of love. And then you can just imagine what that's going to look like, but really what it feels like is hopeful.
Wonderful. And I think that we can all access to this powerful vision of a new earth in which there will not be anymore this energy of fear and separation. Earth where everybody will be able to operate from this collective field of love. And from that, it's pretty easy to imagine that all of the system, from politics to every day-to-day action that we're gonna do, is gonna be completely different.
Gone.
And gone. it's really nice to witness how you're able to share all of these different informations with ease. And yeah, when I approached you, was pretty clear to me that what you're doing is some sort of channeling. And what you said to me is that I'm channeling as well, and that everybody is a channel. And it's really interesting. Yeah, everybody is a channel. We can all connect with certain frequency, and from there simply express them through our movement, through our speaking, with our being. We are a empty channel, channeling and sharing a frequency with the world. And we can holding on that vision of the new earth. So the question here is, what is channeling, and what's your intimate experience with it?
That's great questions. So for anyone unaware of channeling, why I say you're already channeling is because it's really about letting go that you are a separate part of the universe, that you are not an equal part of it. So I would say that people can channel because they're already in that mindset of not wanting to be a separate part of the universe, not wanting to have walls up and saying, I'm all alone. So even that frequency of saying, I want to be part of something, I want to be part of everything, I'm sure that's how it should feel, actually opens up your awareness to allow things in. So say someone's a really wanting to unite with people, you're just going to naturally hang out with more people. Yeah. So it's almost like that that would be a physical thing. But when you're actually sitting with your light, your consciousness, your atoms, and you're just saying, well, there isn't really an Emily, is there? Where is Emily? I'm not Emily without the air. I'm not Emily without the earth. I'm not Emily. Like, what is that thing anyway? So you can dissolve the ego immediately by coming into that atomic vibration and being like, well, basically the banana that's hanging on the tree that I'm going to eat later is my body. Where's my body? Who is Emily? She's hanging on trees. She's not even grown yet, the physical vessel. So then you sit with the idea that you are the consciousness, or you're something within, and you kind of say, I want to believe that we're all in this together, right? So the first time that I actually channeled was I said, and I imagine that a lot of your readers pray and ask the universe for things and declare. And I'd never done that, even though I was teaching meditation, even though I was channeling but didn't realize. And I said to the sky, I said, I was really upset that day. It had been a stressful day of not feeling good enough for my daughter. I didn't feel good enough, even though I was living the greatest life, helping people awaken, and something inside me was saying I'm not good enough. And I just looked up to the sky and I said, what do you want me to do? And all of a sudden, because I declared that there was something else that I wasn't in charge of, because I declared that there was some kind of unity happening, I was put inside a Merkaba, and all these higher dimensional beings came in and started doing like galactic surgery on me. I was weeping, crying. And then I grabbed my laptop and just started automatic channeling. And I was like, I'm not doing this. So the reason I bring that story to your listeners is because when you want to sit in that and say, is there anyone there? Yeah, it actually worked. So to come to that space of channeling is to actually remove that identity of the ego, saying, that's why I always begin it saying your atoms. Yeah, your atoms. And your atoms are obviously vibrating, so they're a frequency. So your body's almost like a harmony, doing a song in the universe. And when you want to connect with other frequencies, then you release that Emily. You say, oh, I'm a free being within this universe. I'm an atomic vibration. I'm a harmony. I'm at peace. I really want to co-create and unite. Does anyone want to be with me right now? Yeah. And it's just, what a beautiful feeling. The essence of freedom is saying, I'm not in this on my own. You know, like I redefine alone as all one. That's what I redefine it as. of that decoding of the word. All one means alone to me, huh? But anyway, so when you're channeling, it's to really come to that space and then just see what happens, because you will realize that all the times that you've had messages in your head and everyone's gone, oh, it was the ego. No, maybe it was someone trying to help you. Maybe the ego was that side of the universe saying, you're worth more. Maybe that voice that was the ego saying, you're not good enough, was something else saying, that wasn't right for you. The whole thing is like, oh, I was always having help. The help was in my head, but 3D, powers that be, called it overthinking. So yeah, maybe that wasn't the clearest way of explaining channeling, but it's definitely the state of mind to be in. And then once you're in that state of mind and that frequency of being open to receive, because you're not trying to claim that you're creating the world, yeah? You're just saying, I'm at peace. And then high dimensional beings from the galaxy, whoop, whoop, hi Buddha, whoop, whoop, hey Jesus, yeah. They come in and they're like, oh, hi, thanks for acknowledging that I exist. Thanks for not trying to close yourself off. So if anyone's want to try channel, really realize that this thing is like an antenna, and be like Batman, or like be like that dog cone, and just put yourself out there and be like, come on in, I'm open.
Yeah, I really believe that this is like one of the maybe best explanation about channeling that I heard of till now. Yeah, it was really precise the way in which you said that in the moment in which this personal identity, in the moment in which we dissolve this personal identity, we can open up to new messages, because now we are not so fixated on this identity of I am this person with this characteristic, with this history, past, etc., etc. Now we loosen up a little bit of that, and from there we can start to realize that there are so many informations available in this moment. And from there we can start to tune into with the frequency of these informations, and simply the process of channeling can happen.
Well, I'd add on that just to help everyone, so that, because it's not meant to sound, you know, using the word frequency, quantum vibration, it doesn't mean anything to make someone confused. Okay, it's just as simple as someone wanting to be like, okay, scientifically we have to eat energy, which is a banana, to fuel our cells. In that moment I've channeled a banana. You know, I'd say I've co-created and I've channeled the experience of being a banana. I've let a banana into my body and now I'm a banana. Can they argue with that? No. Yeah. So like anything that you want to do, the belief that you're not alone, the belief to stand next to a tree and say, what kind of world do I want to live in? The one where I walk past the tree and don't give two shits about it, or the one that I just stop for that second, use my moment of now to just say, hey tree, you all right? You okay? And trust me, you touch that tree, and by you actually saying, of course that thing's alive, of course, it's not a mystery to say that thing's growing, but in terms of an atomic frequency. So you hold that tree and you're like, hello? And trust me, trees talk. Yeah. So you don't have to be like, oh, I want a high dimensional alien to come in. You can be like, let's just see what this leaf does, okay? I'm here with you. Yeah. They want to tell us what we need to hear if we just give it a second. So just keep giving yourself seconds. And even if in that moment the doubt's going, oh, I just made that up. If it was a nice message, just take it.
Yeah. This is really wonderful. This is really wonderful. It really makes sense. It's really practical. We can practice more of this and tuning into with everything, familiarizing with everything in our environment, and realizing that there is already a connection, and that we can simply exchange a message, and that everything has a message for us.
Yeah. And also to that if you, once someone sits with that, then do you see how immediately the idea of being alone is completely vanished? never existed.
Yeah.
An illusion, because we were saying, I'm me only.
Mm.
Yeah, that third density. If you say you're a physical vessel, well, then I feel different to everything because I'm only physical. But you say you're an atomic vibration and you're like, oh, okay, I'm not physical. I don't have to be scared of being hurt or anything because I'm a flow within it all. So say that someone is alone, and I sit with really deep practices of being alone and trapped and unable to escape, to go into those deep parts of the mind to say, well, that's the whole idea of meditation, to escape the mind of being afraid of being alone, because you're not alone. So for anyone that is sitting there feeling alone, just look around and just like hold that book. Just hold a book. You don't really have to read it. You just hold it and you just get a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's New Earth, not doing stuff like we used to. New Earth is basically doing it the coolest, fastest, most imaginative way to feel the best, fastest.
Yeah.
Through your belief that that could exist, because by not thinking that you could have all your needs met, or that your life is for meeting your dreams, it's like, why would you ever want to even manifest that reality?
Yeah, so
Why?
we're gonna manifest what's most relevant for us. We're gonna manifest what we can learn from. We're gonna manifest what really excites us. And
Knowing
at
that
the
you're
end,
that knowing you're that vibration in the all, you could never do anything bad because you know it would affect something else. That's New Earth, you know? That's that path of being like, well, why would I want to go and do anything bad that could affect this leaf? You're part of it.
yeah, we can see who we are in all that there is. So we are really everything, and we are serving ourselves, sharing
Mm,
this love. Yeah.
mm.
So how can we dive deeper, more and more within this love that we are? If somebody's blocked right now and is not really feeling it, how the person can experience more of that love, embody more of it.
The whole idea behind seeking something outside yourself is 3D, third density, fine, but it's a lower form of consciousness. So what you do is you say, okay, let me just imagine how it would feel to get that car I wanted. What would it feel like? So then okay, what would it feel like? I'd feel really excited, successful, proud, free, adventurous. And then in that moment, you're like, oh, I don't need the car to get the sensation. So you harness in your imagination to go, whatever you want to feel, whatever you want, it doesn't take 6 months to get the car. Really, what that car represents is freedom and the excitement. So you pull that into your heart space and you're like, what would it feel like? Yeah, what would it feel like? We always say, how are you? What does it feel like? And your heart starts vibrating, because it can. Because what you're really seeking from those external things is a feeling, is to feel successful. If you want that house, really what you're saying is you want to feel successful, you want to feel safe. That's what you want. But it takes 10 years to do it, or 25 years to do it. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah. But really what you do is, that's the idea of quantum manifestation, because once you pull it in and you're like, okay, what would it feel like to be loved? Why am I trying to find someone to love me? What would it feel like to be loved? Let me imagine. I imagine that I'd feel safe and held and wanted and needed and open and okay and relaxed. And you pull that in and you imagine, and guess what? One, you get your dream right then. You get your dream. You realize that's the only moment of now, yeah? Two, your frequency is actually vibrating then, going, oh, she just said she's got a new car, a house, and she's in love. Okay. So it sends a vibration out. And guess what comes back? The stuff you want. Whatever you're saying you are, you're going to get that. So that's why you go into imagination. You go, okay, if I'm in a very difficult situation, let me just imagine how it would feel not to feel stressed. And that's when you realize, well, who's the ego? There's no real you. When you can change your thought at that moment with the cosmic choice available from your imagination, that's when you're like, oh, I don't exist. I can literally be however I want to be in that next moment. So to dig at that deeper level, it is to utilize your imagination to basically do the opposite of feeling like crap. And say, what would it feel like to not feel this way? What would it feel like to say I love myself? Just imagine, instead of saying, oh, one day I will, it's like this one day never comes. The one day is now. So you just imagine. You imagine that world where you loved yourself. And guess what? You get it.
Yeah. Wonderful. We always have a choice in this moment to experience, explore more of the theme that we are choosing. We can experience more of that theme of lack and separation, or of being one with this love or with this infinite abundance, tuning into that frequency. And from there, of course, the universe is going to mirror what we are experiencing in this now moment.
Yes.
So I know, Emily, that you're offering a journey, the opportunity for people to work one-on-one with you. So what does this work consist of? What is that you're offering to people?
There's two beautiful journeys. The first is for people awakening, as in break free of thinking that you have to be the labels. Break free. It just doesn't exist anymore. So that is a course for 10 weeks where I support them for video content of channeled who, what, where, when, why are you. So you basically redefine who you are based on your new conceptions, from your new perspectives, and you really let that old person go. It also covers the 7 main chakras and 8 limb yoga for someone to respect that the ancient teachings were trying to help, and it's not some mystical club that some people aren't involved in. It's really, really to help people redefine themselves for whatever they choose to be. Beautiful. And then the Master Creator Portal is for ascension activation. So it was held over 5 days as like an online live retreat, where my guide said, oh, post that you're looking for 1,000 people, say it's a $5, but you're only going to have 25 people join. I'm like, oh, you want me to be bold? I love it. I love it, because I love messing. I love, as a teacher, I'm here to teach. I'm here to teach by showing you that mirror and saying, why are you resisting? Because obviously I've got so many messages. Who do you think you are? You're trying to get £5,000. I'm like, you're getting a high dimensional course for £5. What are you worried about? Yeah. What are you worried about? Like, so it's the ego being like, oh, I'm annoyed at what she's getting rather than what I'm getting. And that's the whole part of being a teacher, of saying, don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. I'm good. I'm happy. Trust me, you can come on in. It's fine. Anyway, so the Master Creator Portal is to truly bring people into the now. It's profound shifts from 3D to 5D in one session, but it's over. I give 6 weeks support, a weekly Zoom meeting with the whole group, private Facebook group, and obviously direct contact, because it's to really awaken people to what is actually going on to support people through obviously this global change. But all of the people that I work with literally expect miracles, get miracles, starting new businesses, channeling, loving their lives, because they've realized that there's a bigger purpose, and the purpose is to actually serve humanity with what you embody. And it's just a joyful it's incredible to be honest. But everyone that I work with who is also ascension teachers, they're like, I wish I had that, because we had to do it by ourselves, we had to do it alone, but then like following the journey without someone guiding us, but then we realize, oh no, we're actually here to teach this, we're actually here for this. So we kind of have to sit in that power and say, okay, it's not about taking away anyone's journey. We're actually leading them to become the leader for themselves. So my portal, my way of teaching is very much like, I'm empowering you to go and do your thing. Don't worry about me. You're not here for me. You're here for you. You're here to love yourself.
Powerful, powerful.
So everyone becomes a leader there.
Yeah, I can already feel the energy, the vibrations of your offerings without even being into them. So if you're watching and you feel the same resonance, just go check Emily social media channels, the website. I'm gonna link them in the description. And thanks for all of this. Do you have like a last message to share with the world?
Yeah, 100%. What you need to know is that whatever you're saying, if you're saying you're healing, you'll always be healing. You're allowed to say right now, I'm healed, and see what comes in. Turn everything into the present moment. That's the basic truth that you can spin in every single moment. Healing, you'll be healing then. You're telling yourselves you're not healed. Tell yourself you're healed.
Focus on the process or on the results. You choose. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And obviously love. It's all about unconditional love. So taking all of that fuel of your pain and turn it into the passion to start realizing you're an equal part of this universe. If you're transitioning over and you're going up and you're going on to that next life, you want to be looking down and saying, wow, I impacted people with love, not drama, with love. Yeah. So focus on that. Say, what do I want my legacy to be? And really, you come into that now moment and you're like, I just want to say, if that was the end of my life right now, we'd say, that was great. It was great. Why was I moaning about it? I'm happy. So yeah, love, 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 and more love.
Yeah. Amen. Thank you, Emily. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You're doing incredible. I love your work. Love all your listeners. Love you.
Peace.